Last game week we went against Haaland Perma Captain and he blanked. We're now in a hot streak of no blanks in the last 10 captain picks. In fact, we've only had 3 blanks in the last 25 game weeks. Make sure you subscribe now so you can improve your captain record. I nearly captained Saka at home to Leicester last game week, and on the rare occasion I moved the captain's armband to Salah because news broke out that there was illness in the Wolves camp, and that was the right thing to do. Saka's got another bite at the cherry this game week against Southampton at home. That's a very easy fixture. Haaland, as always, puts up strong competition. He faces Fulham at home, which isn't the easiest of fixtures in compared to Southampton, and you'll see the stats later on in the video. And you'll see that Palmer doesn't have the easiest of fixtures either. The difference is he didn't blank last game week. In fact, he got an absolutely massive haul. Even with those points factored in, and him getting an additional point for every goal scored, Haaland still towers over him in the non-penalty stats per 90 minutes. Saka's only a fraction behind Palmer. That's because he's been more consistent this season, and his underlying stats are more promising, but it's Haaland who's got the most promising underlying stats. Saka's more about creativity, Haaland's more about scoring goals. Obviously it's not strictly to creativity for Saka, he does score goals as well, but of course you do get more points for a goal than you do for an assist, so that is awarded more. Speaking of assist potential, Saka and Palmer do take in direct free kicks and corners. Palmer also gets to take direct free kicks as well. In fact, being on penalty duties is the set piece specialist at Chelsea. Haaland and Saka are on pens for their respective clubs as well. Haaland doesn't usually get a look in for the direct free kicks, but with De Bruyne being sidelined, he does have a good chance. And something that he's always got a good chance at is scoring. He's got the highest anytime goal scorer odds again this game week. He's 15% ahead of Saka. It's Saka who's got the highest anytime assist odds though, but it's not enough to compensate for the highest anytime return odds. Haaland takes the lead on that. He's only got a 27% chance of blanking. I love the fact that Haaland's odds are weighting more towards goals, but again at the same time I love the fact that Saka and Palmer get an additional point for every goal scored. It's worth noting that Palmer and Saka have the same point scoring system and Palmer trails on both markets. However, it is important to remember that these odds are based on the assumption that each player plays 90 minutes, and we will take a look at the expected minutes later on in the video. The expected minutes are fed into the points projections, although there are a lot of other factors as well. Haaland's got the highest overall on FPL Review with 7.8, and the highest on Fantasy Football Fix as well with 7, but Saka's extremely close on both data models. Palmer's miles behind on this section as well, and what explains it is the quality of the opposition's defence. If you watched my videos before, you'll know that Forest had the 5th best expected goals conceded figure in the whole league last season. Now they've got the 3rd best this season, they're completely backing it up. It is a difficult fixture from an attacking perspective. Fulham's defensive underlying stats were below average last season, and they're actually pretty impressive this season. And I think what explains it is the fact that they've had the easiest block of fixtures for the first 6 game weeks from a defensive perspective. You can go and have a look at them yourself. Despite the defensive numbers being above average so far this season, I don't think their defence is above average in quality. I think their defence will crack under pressure at the Etihad, which the clean sheet odds imply, but that is just my opinion. You can't class them as a bad defence or below average defence until they actually show those numbers. It's not even up for debate that Saka's got the easiest fixture against Southampton at home this game week. The numbers on the screen show that, and the clean sheet odds reflect that as well. I'd say that City's attack without De Bruyne is slightly better than Arsenal's attack without Odegaard, and Southampton have the lowest clean sheet odds. That shows how much of an easy opponent that they are. Obviously, the lower the clean sheet odds means the higher the probability that an attacker's going to get a contribution towards a goal. So Arsenal having a 96% chance of scoring at least 1 goal is obviously good for Saka, the talisman. But to be fair, City's chances of scoring are still 94%, just 2% behind, and Haaland's the talisman for them as well. Whilst this video has been recorded, no players on the shortlist have yet featured in any European competitions. The rest stays on the screen and providing that they do feature in the European competitions. If not, they get a week's worth of recovery. 4 days of recovery is adequate for Haaland. Even if he plays 90 minutes, those expected minutes will barely drop. Saka's expected minutes are currently unreliable until he features in that match. We don't know how many minutes he's going to play. If he plays anywhere near 90, then that's clearly reflected here on the expected minutes because he has been dragged off early a few times this season, including a fixture that was within a few days of a Champions League fixture. Despite Palmer not having 3 full days of recovery, if he does feature in the European competition for Chelsea, he's still got higher expected minutes than Saka, but still if he plays 90 minutes, it's not ideal for this upcoming fixture. Either way, Palmer's my least favourite pick out of the 3 options available this game week, so it's between the other 2. Personally, I'm a fixture man. I love that fixture at home to Southampton for Saka. However, for Haaland, I don't think it will be that difficult against Fulham at home. I don't think their defence is the best either. If I was to make a cocktail of what each player can provide and how easy the fixture is, I would like the taste of a red sangria, but I think I prefer the taste of a Blue Lagoon. I think I'm going to order that. Whilst I've not captained him for the last 2 game weeks, I think Haaland is the best captain this game week. I trust him the most to get me to 11 successful captain picks in a row. Make sure you subscribe so you can follow my journey and you don't miss any future best captain videos.